All right. This is the first playthrough that I am recording for my 20 challenge, where I'm attempting to play 20 games, 20 times each in 2020. I'm coining it the Meeple Marathon, and I'm working on some things here, a Patreon account, and some graphics, things like that. So I'm going to try and build this up a little bit more. But for right now, I obviously needed to get started because I have to play 400 games in 365 days. So it just kind of fell into Viticulture being my first game. It's one that my wife and I had played previously, but we didn't own. But it was one that she enjoyed playing, and so she got it for me for Christmas this year. So the game is new to me. I know this is an older game, but obviously not going to play 20 games that come out in 2020. So I thought Viticulture was a great way to start. And our first game on the 2nd of January was just a standard game that I will post some highlights for once I get Patreon set up. But from here on, I wanted to cover the campaign play, which is covered in the back of the rule book behind the automa section. And it's basically a way to kind of progressively change the way you are playing your game just slightly, give you certain challenges. There's 8 of them. Your goal is to complete the 8 challenges in 8 different games, but the way they are reading it'll probably take you more. You're supposed to score yourself on the number of games played to complete the campaign. Lower is better. So my first challenge here is you don't get a mama card. Instead, select any 3 plants, any 3 vine cards, and plant them as part of setup, ignoring structure requirements of these 3 reshuffle decks. So I went ahead and did that. I've got a Sauvignon Blanc and a Merlot over here in my 7 vineyard, and a Merlot, Sauvignon Blanc, and what was this? Cab Sauv in my 7 field, and a Merlot. So I basically picked high ones. I don't know why you wouldn't. But what I was very curious about during setup is that your mama card gives you your 2 main workers. So does that mean I don't get my 2 standard workers? I only get my grande worker? And that's the way I'm going to play, because obviously getting these 2 right off the bat is a huge bonus, and would almost make it too easy. So that's what we're going to go with. I'm going to set this aside, but I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware the specific campaign rule for this game that I'm playing with. So I am gonna start. I need to get out some additional guys here. Let's see who would stand out well. For my automa, I've got my automa deck set up here. Everything else is set up, ready to go. I am gonna attempt to get to 20 VPs here with the only starting with my grande worker, basically. So let me get some people out here to throw out there. All right, so we are ready to go. My Papa is Papa J, and I can hold this up here a little closer for you guys, but basically he's just giving me my grande worker, and then I chose the money because pretty much the first thing I'm going to need to do is train a worker. So I wanted to make sure I had enough money to get some stuff done. So I'm going to set that aside. So I'm starting with 7 money and only 1 grande worker. For those of you who are not familiar with the automa version of Viticulture, basically you just flip over the top card of the automa deck, and in summer you're looking for green and yellow colors, in winter you're looking for red and blue. I am not playing with the Tuscany expansion, so anything with a T next to it I get to ignore. So in this very first round, you can see that the only summer thing that the automa can do is place somebody in a Tuscany expansion place, and so the automa actually doesn't do anything. So I'm just going to set that aside. They don't block anything. That's essentially all the automa is doing, is blocking your places that you can place your workers, forcing you to change your strategy. They don't draft cards, they don't get vines, they don't fill orders, anything like that. They just have their 1 person here sitting on 20, And in 7 rounds, I'm attempting to get to 20. One thing that I forgot to do here, sorry, was pick my starting position. And so I basically have to pick each one of these once, and I cannot go back to those. So I'm actually, being in the situation I am, I'm going to start on level 7, which means, you know, in a normal game I would be going last. And this little guy here, I'll just keep to the side, will allow me to gain the bonus of an action I take on one of my turns. But the biggest thing is I have a bonus worker here, and I'm essentially going to pass. I don't have any other cards. I have my vine cards that are already planted, and I don't really need another vine card right now, and that's really the only thing I could do. I guess I could build a structure, but I need to get some more workers in here. So I'm going to go ahead and pass to the fall, which is where I get to choose either a summer or a winter worker, and I'm gonna go with blue because sometimes this guy can make it cheaper for you. I got the manager, take an action, no bonus from a previous season without placing a worker. So that is interesting. So I'll just set this here. I don't really need to take any summer actions right now, so we're just gonna move on with my said strategy. All right, so now that we're in the winter, we gotta see where the Automa might go. He or she is gonna go make 2 wine tokens, so they'll place a guy there. I can do it like that, so that's easier to see. And fill a wine order, which is not a problem. I don't have anything to fill. And you can see the third one was a Tuscany, so we ignore that. As we get further into the game here, I'm not gonna explain everything. This is certainly not supposed to be a tutorial on how to play Viticulture. This is simply so you guys can see what it's like to play through the campaign of the solo version of Viticulture. So right off the bat, I am going to start, and I'm going to take my bonus worker here, and I'm going to pay for money. So take my lira, exchange it for 1, and take an extra worker of mine, put him next to him there. All right, so now I at least have 2 workers for the rest of the game moving forward. And then I do want to go ahead and get some grapes going, so I'm going to harvest, obviously, my big field. So let's take, and I get a 4 and a 3. Now my next strategy is probably going to be to boost my cellar up, get some wine order cards. Obviously, I don't need to worry about planting right away, but probably getting another worker. So that's essentially where my strategy is going to be for the near future. So year end, I get to age my grapes. I don't have any residual payments. I'm going to retrieve my workers. This guy, kind of done with him for now. Put those guys back. These guys come back to the Automa. I certainly don't have 7 cards, and there's no first player token to rotate. So back to me choosing where I want to go. So I'm thinking I may want to grab another worker here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one, which is going to get me $1. Another action token. And, so now I have 4 that I can train another worker. So there we go. Automa this turn is only Tuscany again, so I've gotten pretty lucky. They're not really blocking me. So let's see if I want to... Ooh, do I build my medium wine cellar? Do I go ahead and do that from previous season without placing a worker? I need some money on top of that. So, but my grape tokens already are higher than my small cellar can handle. So I think, yeah, we are going to go ahead and build a structure. I am going to turn in one of my little glass beads that I got from the wake up track here, which is going to allow me to get my bonus. So essentially I'm gonna get a coin back, so I'm only gonna turn in 3 for my 4 medium cellar. And I will find that one, stick that on there. So now when I make wine tokens, they can actually get there and have someplace to go. And then I'm gonna pass for now and save my other 2 guys. So this time I'm gonna go with Summer Worker Broker. Pay 9 to gain 3 or lose 2 to gain 6. Kind of useless right now. All right, Automa. This is the winter, so we're ignoring these top 3. Make up to 2 wine tokens, which is probably something I'm gonna wanna do, but I've got my Grande Worker to cover that. So that is what I am gonna go ahead and do. I am gonna go ahead and set my Grande Worker here to make 2 wine tokens, and we'll just keep it real simple. 4 and 5, move those over. Now the question is, do I want to go ahead and start drawing wine orders, or do I can't pay first. So let's see what we can get here. Let's draw our first wine token. It's not much, but it's gonna get us on the board. So a 3 and a 1. I could do that right now, but I'm almost wasting my wine. So I'm gonna, obviously I can't do it now because I don't have the worker, but we'll see what we can do here in a minute. So I'm out of workers. Everybody comes back. I'm gonna age my wine here, and that doesn't do anything, and I pick another spot. So I'm actually going to see what another wine order card might look like. Draw this one. This one's a little better for me. 3 red and a 7 blush. So I'd have to build the large cellar to get there. All right. So let's see here. Automa. Buy and sell 1 field. That's Tuscany only. So again, the worker does nothing. This honestly is the first time I've played solo where I've had this many turns where the Automa has done nothing to block me, but I'm not really complaining. I do need some money, so I'm going to give a tour, take $2. This guy should have gone right there. And then we're gonna wait. I am gonna take a blue one. Let's see if we can't get something that's a free harvest action. Pay a money to gain 1 on the residual track, or lose 2 residual to gain 2. So that's interesting. Just can't really afford this right now. I don't want to know if I want to give up a whole worker on here, so we're gonna wait, but hold on to that. So Automa, next turn, I'm not too worried about it. Those are both Tuscany, so there we go. And this guy is going to allow us to harvest a field. Again, we're gonna go 4 and 3. All right, so that's it. That ends that. Age my wine. And nothing else really happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so again, I need another worker. I already took the money. So we'll draw a summer card. Stonemason, pay 8 to build any 2 structures. Again, all this money needed, and I'm struggling. So we're gonna focus on filling a wine order this time. Let's see what the Automa does. It's gonna plant, and that's it. And I need to do that one. I don't have enough money to do that one. Oh, and I need to do that one. So I'm gonna pass. And take a blue card. Guest speaker, all players may pay one. Okay, so this is one that's only comes up if you're playing multiplayer, so I'm gonna pass that one. Design or build one structure at its regular cost, then if you have at least 6 structures, gain 2. So again, I'm just gonna make this pile of ready to discards here, because now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 exactly now. If I gain any more, I'm gonna have to discard at the end of the round. So let's see what the Automa does. Only looking at blue, and they are gonna block play 1. So there we go. And so I need to make some wine. 4 and 5. And I am gonna go ahead and just get on the board and get me some residual income. I am going to fill a wine order with my Grande. And, whoops, forgot to grab this. I'm stacking these up here, but I don't know if I really want to use it. Maybe I do. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use this to take a victory point, an extra one. So I'm gonna get 3 victory points and 1 residual on the residual track. I can just put this right there. I do need to lose a 3 and a 1. I'm just gonna take my lowest. Throw those back in there. 1, 2, 3, and this goes to 1. So that's all the people I have. So everybody comes back. These guys come back. I am gonna get my 1 lira, so now I have 4. And age my 1 wine token, and that's it. All right, so, I am running out of ways to do this. Lose 2 to gain 2. Pay 1 to gain 1. All right, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll take our victory point now. There's that. And let's see what the Automa does. Tuscany, no. Plant and sell, or at least buy 1, trade 1 for 1. So there we go. Blocking those 2 spaces. Let's see now, to be able to fill this one, I need 6 money to buy my large cellar. I need 4 money to get another worker, because I'm only working with 2 right now. So I feel like I've got to save 1 guy to go here. I need some more wine tokens out there. I need to get a new order, so I'm gonna pass. Again, I'm gonna try and find somebody to either harvest or train workers cheap. Scholar, draw 2 wine tokens or pay $3 to train 1 worker. You may lose 1 to do both. Now that's interesting because that's what I need, so I may consider doing that. All right, so let's see what the Automa does in the winter. Makes up to 2 wine tokens. So blocking me there. All right, so I'm gonna risk it. We're gonna see what happens here. I'm going to play my scholar, and I'm gonna lose 1 to be able to draw 2 and train a worker. Stick you up there. Okay, so a 6 and 6. I could actually do this right now. This is beautiful. I have this in my hand, and then a 6 blush, which I can make happen. So these are much better. We are doing better here. I got my extra worker. I got my 2 cards. So this guy is going to fill this wine order token right here. And I'm going to pay this 1 to get my VP victory point back. So 6 and 6 takes these 2 off exactly as is. But the key is I'm getting 5 victory points and 2 on the residual income. So that was money. My nobleman, I could kick back now at some point to gain 2 VP if I'm desperate here at the end. So I'm gonna hold on to her. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards exactly, so I'm good. Retrieve everybody. I might, well, I don't know, I got a long way to go here. Even if I get both of these, I'm still only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus her is 1, 2. I'm still 1 short. All right, so I need to make some wine and fill some wine orders. All right, so let's obviously, we'll just take this one for now. Draw a vine card. Syrah. So I could plant this and then harvest 2 fields, but that's taking a lot of actions. That's a lot of reds. All right. Ooh, but I saved my money by playing, wait. I did need to pay 3, I'm sorry. I almost missed that. I still needed to pay 3 to train my worker. That's right. So I'm down to 1 money. I don't think I'm gonna be able to afford my large cellar. So I think this one is out. So we need some wine order tokens. We need to harvest some fields. So I think this is out too. All right. So I need to see what the Autumn is doing. They're gonna draw 1, they're gonna play 1, and Tuscany. Oh, I am gonna pass. I again need some lucky blue here. This one is draw 2 summer workers or discard a wine token of value 4 or more to gain 3. So that could be interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So I have 8 now. I'm gonna have to discard if I don't play any, but that's fine. I got my whole pile of discards here. I don't think I'm gonna be using this guy either, or this guy. I really only need to focus on 3 right now. Okay, so Automa is going to, going right where I need and right where I need. Ugh. All right. So the focus right now is harvesting a field. This guy is really being a pain. All right. So let's see what we can do here. Harvesting a field, I am going to just go ahead and spend these so I get to harvest 2 fields. So 4, 3. Let's get these out of here. And a 3. All right, now to create a blush, I could do the 3 and the 3 to get to 6. So I can go right here and make, do I go ahead and do, no, I'm gonna save that. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna make up to 2 wine tokens, 3 and 3 to make a 6 blush. Perfect. And this one is gonna just go right there. All right, and then this guy is gonna go right here. I am gonna spend one of my little things to get a VP, and he's gonna fill this guy for 3 victory points and 1 on the residual track. So put that there. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we are going into the last round. Obviously I need some, I'm gonna need to do a lot. I've got 5 right here I could do. I've got this, so I could do it, but that's so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I need to fill another wine token. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously, I mean, I don't even know why I'm holding on to them. I'll just make this easy here. All right, So these guys can get me within 2. And I could play both of them potentially, but I'm gonna need to find 2 more, maybe from here. All right, so let's bring my 3 workers back. This is stressful. Bring all those guys back. Obviously I'm going there because it's my last one. I need 4 money. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Can't just like buy VP. This one I need a wine token or 2 guys to get 3 VP. So if I spend 1 here, I spend 1 here, I spend 1 here, those are my 3 people. Bully. If I spend 1 here to build a cottage, which I could do, then I would get my 2 summer workers in the fall. Then I would still need to draw into, oh, I need to age. This needs to go off and that needs to age. So I would need to get the perfect draw here. I guess I could draw 2 and then play 2. I've got 2 things, build a structure to draw 2, draw 2. Oh, but then I still need to fill it. So my judge is not going to get me there. All right. I don't know what to do here. Oh, all right, let's just see what happens. Automa. Plant. I'm not doing that. All right, I'm passing. Can only play blue guys, so let's see who we got. Assessor, gain 1 money for each card in your hand, or discard your hand, minimum of 1 card to gain 2. Interesting. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's see what the Automa's doing. Tuscany, play 1 and fill 1. The Automa pretty much just crushed my dreams of being able to complete this round. But let's just play it out. Draw 1, playing an action token, double my chances, draw 2. Ooh, getting very close. Very, very close. Okay, so I could fill this one right now for 5. But I'd have to use my grande worker. I could use this to get, yeah. I could use this to get 3 out of it. That's doing me nothing right now. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. I need to be able to play these 2 to get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So these 2 bastards right here who are blocking me are ruining the game for me. And I don't see any other way of doing this and still winning. Because I could harvest 2 fields and make 2 wine tokens, but that's my last 2 guys. And that still would only give me 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still short. I am still short. All right, so let's just go ahead and do this. Send my grande worker. Send you in. Oh, here's my 5 exactly. So it's gonna give me 1, 2, 3. That technically moves up. And then this guy, it doesn't even matter where he goes. Doesn't even matter. All right, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I could harvest a field, or I could pay technically game end scenarios, Lyra would be the king, but I'm losing. So there you have it. I am obviously not going to complete the campaign, the solo campaign in 8 games. It's going to take me at least 9. This was very difficult. If you have any strategies for me for completing this first one, or if you feel like I started the game off wrong by not getting any basic workers, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the issue. I'm gonna let this sit for a couple days, and then we will come back, obviously, and try this again. I'm gonna be playing this 20 more times at least over the course of the year, so plenty of time to perfect my strategy. So again, if you have any tips or tricks, or if you feel like I was playing it wrong, please let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you are interested in how my 2020 challenge is going to go, please consider subscribing to the channel. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great night.